If only Belinda knew what waited for her at the river that night, she would have never stepped into the darkness. But life had pushed her to a point where even danger felt safer than her own home. And the midnight river, silent, cold, and forbidden, was about to reveal a secret that would change her destiny forever. Belinda was 19, an orphan, and the quiet shadow of her uncle's house. Every morning before sunrise, she tied her faded wrapper around her waist and began sweeping the compound. Her back ached, her hands were tired, but she kept working. After sweeping came cooking, washing, fetching water, and cleaning. She did everything while Rita, her uncle's daughter, slept like a queen until the sun was high. "Belinda, have you ironed my dress? Belinda, why is my water not hot? Belinda, are you deaf?" Belinda never answered back. She had learned long ago that silence kept her safe. At least, that was what she believed until the day she discovered silence was no protection at all. Behind their compound stood a small, rough local bathroom. Belinda bathed there every evening after cooking. She always felt uneasy inside that small space. Sometimes she heard footsteps. Sometimes shadows flickered behind. But she pushed away the fear and continued bathing. She never imagined the truth. One evening, while pouring water over her body, she suddenly felt a strong sensation, like eyes were crawling over her skin. She turned sharply, but the bathroom was empty. She rushed her bath and went back inside, shivering even though the weather was warm. The truth came the next morning. Belinda had just finished sweeping when she stepped outside to fetch firewood. She met Kunle, her childhood friend, returning from the farm. He was normally cheerful, but today his face was dark and worried. "Belinda, I need to talk to you," he said quietly. She frowned. "What happened?" Kunle looked around, making sure no one was listening. His voice dropped. "Yesterday, when you were bathing, I saw something." Belinda felt her heartbeat slow. "What did you see?" Kunle swallowed hard. "Your uncle. He climbed the mango tree behind the bathroom. He was watching you. I saw him with my 2 eyes." Belinda's breath caught in her throat. For a moment she couldn't speak. "Kunle, are you sure?" "I swear on my life," Kunle whispered. "I shouted at him to come down. He jumped from the tree and threatened me. He told me to keep quiet or I would regret it." Belinda put her hand over her mouth, shaking. Her uncle, the man she lived with, the man she trusted because she had no one else. Kunle touched her hand gently. "Belinda, you are not safe. Please be careful." She nodded slowly, tears burning her eyes but refusing to fall. She thanked Kunle and walked away. Her world suddenly cracked open. That evening, Belinda waited for her uncle. When he returned, she stepped in front of him, trembling but determined. "Uncle," she whispered, "why did you climb the mango tree and watch me yesterday?" His eyes widened in shock, then twisted with anger. "What rubbish are you saying?" he barked. "Who told you such foolishness?" "Kunle saw you." The name made him explode. "That useless boy wants to destroy my good name. I am a respected man in this village. Do you think I will lower myself to watch you bathing? Lies, all lies." But Belinda saw the truth in his eyes. The shame, the guilt, the fear. He had done it, and he would do worse if she kept using that bathroom. That night, Belinda sat outside under the moon, hugging her knees, shivering even though the night was warm. She felt unsafe in her own home. Even the bathroom had become a place of fear. "No," she whispered. "I can't bathe there anymore." She looked toward the dark forest behind the village. Deep inside, it was a quiet river, hidden from everyone. Only hunters and brave men entered the place. "At midnight," she murmured, "everyone will be asleep. Nobody will follow me there." A dangerous idea formed in her mind. A decision that would open the door to mysteries she never imagined. "From tomorrow, I will start bathing at the river. At midnight." She did not know something was already waiting for her in that forest. Something not human, something older than the village itself. The next night, when everyone was asleep, Belinda quietly stood from her mat. Her heart was beating fast. She wrapped her cloth around her body, picked a small lantern, and stepped into the cold, silent compound. The moon hung low, bright enough to light her path, but the darkness around her still felt heavy. She walked past the mango tree quickly. She couldn't even look at it. Just seeing the branches made her chest tighten. She hurried into the narrow forest path behind the house. The villagers always warned people not to go there at night. Strange sightings, strange sounds, strange stories, but Belinda felt she had no choice. Her feet crunched softly on fallen leaves. The forest wrapped around her like a giant whispering mouth. She walked faster. The deeper she went, the colder the air became. She hugged her wrapper tighter and kept moving. She kept telling herself, "I just need to bathe and leave. I will be fine." After a few minutes, the trees opened up, revealing the secret river calm, clear, and shining gently under the moonlight. It was beautiful, peaceful, almost magical. The water looked like a mirror made of silver. Belinda exhaled. Maybe this place isn't so bad. She set her lantern on a rock, removed her wrapper, and stepped into the cool water. A soft shiver ran through her body, but soon the cold became refreshing. She cupped the water in her palms and poured it over her skin slowly, finally feeling free. Free from Rita's insults, free from her uncle's eyes, free from fear. For the first time in many years, Belinda relaxed. But something else relaxed with her, something in the forest, something watching. Belinda didn't notice the faint ripple forming on the far side of the river. She didn't notice the slow movement between the trees. She was too focused on washing herself quickly so she could return home. She finished bathing, stepped out of the water, wrapped her cloth around her body again, lifted her lantern and froze. Something moved behind the trees, a shadow, tall, slow, watching. Her legs trembled. She held the lantern higher, but the light wasn't strong enough to reveal anything clearly. She wanted to run, but her body refused to move. Then the wind blew softly, carrying a whisper so soft she almost believed she imagined it. Belinda! Belinda's heart jumped violently. She spun around. Who is there? Silence. She waited, shaking. Nothing responded. The whisper did not return. The shadow did not move again. She forced her legs to walk, slowly at first, then faster, then almost running. She did not look back until she reached the edge of the forest. When she got home, she slipped into her mat quietly, but sleep refused to come. She kept replaying the shadow in her mind, that soft whisper that sounded like her name. Maybe it was the wind, she whispered to herself. Maybe I imagined it. But deep down, a part of her knew the truth. Something had followed her. Something had been watching. The next morning, Rita studied Belinda suspiciously. "You look tired. Where did you go last night?" Belinda swallowed. "Nowhere." Rita narrowed her eyes. She didn't believe her, but she walked away. Later that afternoon, Belinda walked quietly to Kunle's house. He was sitting outside on a wooden bench. She stood in front of him, nervous and unsure how to begin. "Kunle," she said softly, "I need to tell you something." He looked up. "What happened?" Belinda took a deep breath. "I did something last night. I went to the river to bathe." Kunle was shocked. "Belinda, why?" She looked down. "I couldn't use the bathroom at home again. I was afraid my uncle might watch me like before. I didn't feel safe." Kunle's face tightened with worry. "Belinda, the river at night is dangerous. Anything could have happened. Don't try it again. You are lucky to be alive." "Why didn't you come to my house to bathe?" Belinda frowned slightly. "Go to your house? Walk all the way there just to bathe? People will talk. They will twist stories. They will spoil my name." "Let them talk," Kunle said firmly. "I don't care. You are my friend. I don't want anything bad to happen to you." Belinda shook her head. "No, Kunle, I can't do that." Kunle sighed. "Then at least go to our neighbor's house. They have daughters. It will be safe for you." "No," Belinda said. "I don't want gossip. I don't want trouble." "Then why the bush?" Kunle asked. "Because it is peaceful," she said. "Nobody disturbs me there. Nobody watches me." Kunle looked at her with fear and helplessness in his eyes. "Belinda, please don't go there again tonight." She didn't reply. Her silence said everything. That night, when everyone was asleep, Belinda quietly left the house again. She wrapped her cloth around her body, picked her small lantern, and walked into the dark forest path. The air felt colder than before, but she pushed the fear away. She just wanted to bathe and return home. When she reached the river, everything looked calm. The water was shining softly under the moon. Belinda stepped inside and washed quickly, wanting to leave as soon as possible. She was just about to come out when she felt something strange, like a soft breeze touching her back, even though the air was still. She turned sharply. No one was there. She tied her wrapper, picked her lantern, and started walking back. But as she moved deeper into the bush, she suddenly felt dizzy. Her legs became weak, her vision blurred. She blinked hard and tried to steady herself, but the dizziness grew stronger. Then she heard footsteps behind her, slow, heavy, dragging footsteps. Before she could turn around, a cracked, shaky voice whispered behind her ear, "Beautiful girl, come with me." Belinda gasped and tried to run, but her body refused to move. Something pressed heavily on her shoulders, like invisible hands. Her lantern fell from her shaking fingers. She saw a dim figure step out from behind a tree. An old woman, bent and wrinkled, with dirty grey hair falling over her face. She wore torn black cloth and held a small calabash filled with strange powder. Belinda tried to scream, but her voice died in her throat. The old woman blew the powder into Belinda's face. Immediately the world around her spun. Her knees buckled. Her eyes rolled slightly. Everything went dark. When Belinda finally opened her eyes, her head felt heavy and her body felt weak. She blinked slowly, trying to understand where she was. She wasn't at home. She wasn't at the river. She was lying on a mat made of old leaves inside a small dirty hut made of sticks and mud. The hut was deep inside the bush. The air smelled like herbs and smoke. Strange carvings hung from the roof. The old woman was sitting in the corner, staring at her with sharp, hungry eyes. "You finally woke up," the woman said in a cracked voice. "Good, very good." Belinda's heart raced. She tried to sit up, but her body shook. Why am I here?" The old woman smiled slowly, a frightening smile that showed missing teeth. "You entered the bush at night, my child. You came alone, and the bush always takes what enters it." Belinda's breath caught. "Please, let me go." But the woman only laughed softly. "No, my daughter, you came to me by fate, and I have been waiting for someone like you." Belinda felt cold fear spread through her chest. She had no idea what the old woman wanted from her. Belinda lay quietly on the mat until the old woman fell asleep. The hut was dark, the bush outside silent, and the moonlight slipped through a hole in the roof. Belinda's heart pounded as she slowly lifted herself. Her legs were shaking, but fear pushed her forward. She tiptoed toward the door, praying the old woman wouldn't wake up. Just a few more steps. Just a little more. She reached the doorway and gently pushed the stick curtain aside. A cold hand grabbed her wrist. Belinda froze. "Where do you think you are going?" the old woman whispered behind her, her voice deeper and more dangerous than before. Belinda turned slowly, trembling. "Please, I want to go home. I didn't mean to enter your place. I didn't know." The old woman cut her off sharply. "If you ever try to run again, you will join your dead parents. Do you hear me? Don't ever try that again." Belinda's breath stopped. Her heart felt like it dropped to the ground. My parents." "Yes," the old woman hissed. "You made your choice the night you stepped into that river. The bush does not touch who it does not want. Now lie down." Belinda had no strength to fight. She went back to the mat, curled up, and cried silently until morning. Back in the village, the sun had risen, and Kunle was already searching everywhere for her. He checked the farm path, the market, the riverbank. Nothing. Not even her footprints. Something felt terribly wrong. He went straight to Belinda's house. Uncle Dogo opened the door with an irritated expression. "What do you want here?" "Is Belinda inside?" "I haven't seen her since yesterday," Kunle said urgently. Uncle Dogo folded his arms. "And so? Is she your wife?" "Please, sir, I'm worried. She didn't sleep at home last night, did she?" Uncle Dogo's eyes flashed. "You this boy, leave my house. I don't want to see you near my compound again." "But sir, Belinda must have run away with a man," Uncle Dogo snapped. "That girl is stupid. She has no sense. If she likes, let her go and never come back. It's none of your business." Kunle stared at him, speechless. Something was off. Something was wrong. Uncle Dogo wasn't even pretending to care. He slammed the door in Kunle's face. Kunle left Belinda's compound with anger burning in his chest. Her uncle's words kept ringing in his ears. She must have run away with a man. That girl is stupid. It's none of your business. Kunle knew something was wrong. Belinda would never disappear like that. Instead of going home, he turned sharply and ran toward the king's palace. The guards stopped him at the gate, but when they heard the urgency in his voice, they let him in. Kunle bowed quickly before the king, breathing hard from running. "My king, please forgive me for coming like this. It's about my friend Belinda." The king frowned. What happened to her? Kunle explained everything, how Belinda had been bathing in the river at midnight because she feared her uncle. How the uncle once climbed the mango tree to watch her. How she was too ashamed to tell anyone, and how she had now disappeared. The king sighed heavily and shook his head. "As for Belinda, I cannot do much. If she went into the forest at night, she caused her own problem. The forest is dangerous. She should not have gone there." Kunle swallowed painfully. "But my king, she was only trying to protect herself." "Yes," the king replied, "but she chose the wrong path. As for her uncle, I will call him to order. His behavior is shameful." Kunle felt his heart break a little. He had hoped the king would organize a search team, send warriors into the forest, or do anything to find her. But instead, all he received was pity and a warning. He bowed his head slowly. "Thank you, my king." He walked out of the palace with heavy steps, disappointment settling on him like a dark cloud. Kunle looked toward the forest. "Belinda, wherever you are, I will find you," he whispered. That night, Kunle could not sleep. He turned on his mat again and again, imagining Belinda alone in the cold bush. The king had refused to help. Her uncle didn't care. The whole village was quiet, but Kunle's heart was loud. Finally, he stood up. "I must look for her," he whispered. He grabbed a small torch and marched toward the forest like a warrior, even though his legs were shaking. At the entrance of the bush, he paused and looked around. "Kunle, you can do this," he told himself, even though he clearly could not. He stepped inside. The forest was quiet, too quiet. The trees looked taller than usual, the shadows deeper. He walked slowly, calling her name softly. "Belinda. Belinda." Nothing. He went deeper and deeper and deeper. Suddenly, something moved behind a tree. Kunle jumped. "Who is there?" he shouted. Silence. He took one tiny step forward, then a huge bush rat ran across his foot. Kunle screamed. Not a small scream, a full village-waking scream. "Ah, Mogibi, something wants to eat me alive." He dropped his torch and ran so fast even his slippers couldn't keep up. One flew off immediately. The other got stuck on a root. By the time he reached the village, Kunle was barefoot, breathless, shaking and sweating like someone chased by 10 spirits. He stopped running only when he reached his house, slammed the door and leaned against it. "Belinda, please forgive me. I wanted to save you. But that forest is not for humans." He lay on his mat, still breathing heavily, and covered his face with his hands. Now he understood why people warned against entering the forest at night. Even bush rats there behaved like spiritual animals, but despite the fear, one thing didn't change: Kunle's determination. "Tomorrow, I will try again," he muttered, "but next time I'm carrying a big stick." Morning came slowly, and sunlight slipped through the holes in the old hut. Belinda opened her eyes and looked around. The old woman was gone. Her mat was empty. Her walking stick was missing. The entire hut felt strangely quiet. Belinda sat up fast. "So this old witch has gone out," she whispered. "Let me escape now before she comes back." Her heart raced with new hope. She stood up quickly, ignored her shaking legs, and ran out of the hut. The bush air hit her face like freedom. She didn't stop to think. She just ran. She ran straight through the trees, following what looked like a small path. But the path curved strangely. She kept running, but it felt like she was going in circles. She turned left. She turned right. She ran forward. She ran back. Every direction looked the same. No exit. No open road, no familiar tree, just endless forest swallowing her. Belinda stopped suddenly, panting hard. She looked around and realized something terrifying. She had returned to the same spot she began from. "No, no, no," she whispered, shaking her head as tears filled her eyes. "How can I end up here again?" She tried another direction, walking slowly this time, pushing branches aside. 10 minutes later, she reached a fallen tree. The same fallen tree she saw before. Belinda pressed her hands on her head and cried out, "God, is this how I'm going to die in this forest? What did I put myself into? Why didn't I obey Kunle? Why didn't I listen?" She sank to her knees, tears dripping onto the dry leaves. "I know Kunle is looking for me now. I know he is worried. But this forest has no end. How will he find me?" Her voice broke. Her body shook. Fear settled heavily inside her chest. She hugged herself tightly and sobbed. "I should never have bathed in that river. I should never have entered the forest. God, please, don't let me die here." The trees around her rustled softly, as if laughing at her desperation. Belinda wiped her tears with trembling fingers. "I want to go home," she whispered. But the bush had no door, and the old woman was already returning. Belinda was still crying when she heard footsteps behind her, slow, dragging, and heavy. Her heart stopped. She turned around slowly, and there the old woman stood, leaning on her walking stick, her eyes burning like fire. "So, you tried to escape," the old woman said quietly, too quietly. "You little stubborn girl. Did I not warn you?" Belinda jumped to her feet. "Please, let me go. Leave me alone." Her voice breaking. The old woman's face twisted with anger. "If you love your life, you will never try that again. Do you hear me?" Belinda shook her head desperately, tears rolling. "Please, I beg you, let me go home. I won't tell anyone. I won't say anything." The old woman struck the ground with her stick, and the bush trembled lightly. "If you try it next time, you are gone. Finished. I am the wicked forest witch. Nobody leaves here alive unless I choose." Belinda's legs weakened. She fell to her knees and covered her face, shaking. "I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. It won't happen again. Please don't kill me. Please." The old woman moved closer, her shadow falling over Belinda like a dark cloud. "You better behave yourself. This forest does not forgive, and I do not spare stubborn children." Belinda bowed her head, trembling. "Yes. Yes. I'm sorry. I won't try to escape again. Please don't hurt me." The woman looked at her for a long moment, then turned away. "Good. Now follow me back to the hut." Belinda obeyed silently, her heart aching. She stared at the forest one more time, realizing the truth. She was trapped, and she had no idea what fate the witch had planned for her. Back in the village, Belinda's disappearance did not bring sadness to her uncle's house. Instead, Uncle Dogo and Rita were sitting together, smiling as if they had won something. "She is gone," Rita said with relief. "Finally. She always liked to feel like the most beautiful girl in the village. Let her enjoy her beauty in the bush." Uncle Dogo laughed quietly. "Let her go. I know she is dead by now. A foolish girl who walks into the forest at night deserves what she sees there." They were both happy. Not even a hint of worry touched their hearts. Later that day, Uncle Dogo went to the king's palace. He bowed respectfully, pretending to be a humble, innocent man. "My king," he began, "I heard that boy Kunle has been coming here to tell lies about me. He said I went to watch Belinda in the bathroom. My king, that boy is a terrible liar. I am a respected elder. I can never do such a thing." The king looked at him quietly, thinking. Uncle Dogo continued, "Belinda ran away. Maybe she followed a man. Maybe she planned it. But what Kunle is saying about me is wicked. Please, my king, warn him." The king finally nodded. "Very well, I will speak to Kunle. I don't want trouble in this village." Uncle Dogo smiled triumphantly. His lies had worked. On his way home, he met Kunle walking on the road. Uncle Dogo smirked and said, "I warned you before. You cannot do me anything. You cannot spoil my name. You are nothing." Kunle did not step aside. He stood firm, eyes burning. "You are a wicked and evil man," Kunle said quietly, "and one day your wickedness will expose you. You can deceive the king, but you cannot deceive God." Uncle Dogo's smile faded a little. He expected Kunle to fear him, to bow his head, to beg. But Kunle didn't move. Kunle added, "I will find Belinda, even if it takes my life." Uncle Dogo clicked his tongue and walked away angrily. Back in the forest hut, Belinda sat quietly in a corner while the old woman boiled something inside a black clay pot. Smoke filled the room. Strange herbs, bones, and dried leaves floated inside the bubbling mixture. The smell was strong and bitter. Belinda covered her nose lightly. "Mama, what are you cooking?" The old woman turned sharply. "Don't call me Mama. I am not your mother. I am the forest witch, and you belong to me now." Belinda bowed her head quickly. "Sorry, I didn't mean—" "Quiet," the woman snapped. She stirred the pot slowly. "You were brought here for a reason. You think your visit to the river at midnight was ordinary? No, the river called you. The forest accepted you." Belinda frowned, confused and scared. "Please, I don't understand." "You don't need to understand," the woman hissed. "You just need to obey. Now come here." Belinda hesitated, fear rising in her chest. "Come," the old woman shouted. Belinda walked slowly toward the bubbling pot. The heat was strong. The smoke stung her eyes. "Smell it," the witch ordered. Belinda shook her head. "Please, no. Smell it," the woman roared. Belinda leaned in and inhaled a little. Her head began to feel heavy and her vision blurred slightly. "That is the smell of the forest," the witch said. "When you smell it, the spirits know you. They will watch you. They will follow you." Belinda stepped back, shaking. "Please, I want to go home. I promise I won't tell anyone. I just want to leave." The old woman's eyes narrowed sharply. "You cannot leave. You belong to the river now, and the forest has claimed you." Belinda's legs weakened and she almost fell. She cried, "God, why me? What did I do?" The witch ignored her tears. She sat on her stool and smiled slowly. "Tears will not save you. You must obey me if you want to stay alive." Back in the village, Kunle was pacing up and down inside his compound. He had not eaten since morning. His mother begged him to rest, but he refused. "I know Belinda is alive," he muttered. "I can feel it. Something is telling me she is suffering somewhere." His mother sighed. "Kunle, be careful. You cannot fight spirits." Kunle looked at her with determined eyes. "I am not fighting spirits. I am fighting to save a friend." Night fell quickly in the forest. The hut grew darker and the air became cold. Belinda sat quietly in the corner, hugging her knees, while the forest witch arranged strange items on the floor: cowrie shells, dried leaves, red cloth, and a burning candle. Belinda's heart pounded. Something felt wrong. The witch turned to her slowly. "Tonight I will use you for a ritual." Belinda gasped and crawled backward. "Please, no, please, don't move," the witch snapped. "You were chosen by the river. Your fear means nothing." She began chanting in a strange language. The candle flame flickered violently. The wind outside howled as if spirits were gathering. Belinda felt her breath shorten. Her hands trembled uncontrollably. The witch lifted a calabash filled with dark water and walked towards Belinda. She raised it over her head. But suddenly she stopped. She stared at Belinda for a long time, too long, her eyes softening slowly. Then the witch stepped back. "No," she whispered, "I cannot do it." Belinda blinked in shock. "What? What do you mean?" The witch lowered the calabash. "Your heart is too pure. I have never seen a heart like yours. You have goodness, patience, kindness, and destiny. I cannot harm someone like you." Belinda covered her mouth, tears rushing to her eyes. "Please, please let me go." The witch nodded calmly. "I will free you." Belinda gasped with relief. "But," the witch continued, "before you leave, I have something for you." She pointed at a small corner of the hut. "There are 2 pots there, one big, one small. You may take only one. Inside each pot is a surprise that will change your life forever. When you get home, break the pot. Your surprise will reveal itself." Belinda was so shocked. The witch smiled softly, which was strange coming from her. "My daughter, your suffering will turn into blessing. But be careful whom you trust." Belinda nodded, still shaking. "Thank you. Thank you so much." "One more thing," the witch said. "Your friend Kunle. He is not who you think he is." Belinda frowned. "What do you mean? Is he dangerous?" The witch sighed. "No. Kunle is a good man, a strong man, a faithful friend. I know he is the best for you. Don't lose him. He is searching for you. He cares for you more than you know." Belinda's heart warmed a little. Kunle, he really cares. Yes, the witch said, trust him, but be careful of others. Belinda nodded. The witch lifted her hand and the hut door opened by itself. Go home, my daughter, before the spirits change their mind. Belinda stepped outside quickly, breathing the fresh night air like someone tasting freedom for the first time. She looked back once. The witch was gone. On her way through the forest, she saw the 2 pots placed neatly on the ground near a fallen tree. One was big and heavy, the other was small and light. Belinda hesitated for a moment, then said quietly, Big things are not always the best. I will take the small one. She picked the small pot, held it close to her chest, and began running home with tears of joy and relief. Belinda finally reached the village just before dawn. Her heart was racing with fear and excitement as she slipped quietly into her uncle's compound. Everyone was still asleep. She tiptoed into her small room, locked the door, and sat on the floor, holding the small pot tightly against her chest. Her hands shook as she raised the pot. God, please, let this be something good, she whispered. She broke the pot gently on the ground. Her mouth fell open. Gold. Pure gold, necklaces, rings, bracelets, coins, bright, shining, heavy gold scattered across her floor. More gold than she had ever seen in her life. Belinda covered her mouth to stop herself from screaming. Her eyes filled with tears as she touched them one by one. If I sell just one, she whispered, I will be rich forever. She quickly gathered everything, wrapped them carefully inside an old wrapper, and hid them under her mat. Her heart was beating too fast. She couldn't believe the witch kept her alive, and blessed her. Just a few minutes later, after Belinda had cleaned the floor and calmed herself, someone pushed her door open. It was Rita. Rita froze when she saw Belinda sitting on her mat. Her eyes widened for a moment, but she quickly forced a fake smile. My lovely sister is back, Rita exclaimed. I was so worried for you. Thank God you are alive. Me and my father searched everywhere. We could not find you. Belinda smiled politely. Thank you, Rita. You both tried. Thank God for everything. Rita walked around slowly, eyeing every corner of the room. Belinda, I feel like you are hiding something. Tell me more. What happened in the forest? Where did you go? How did you come back? Belinda's smile faded, and she turned away slightly. Nothing, Rita. I'm just glad to be home. Rita's face twitched with frustration. She wanted answers. But Belinda's tone was firm. I said nothing happened, Belinda repeated calmly. Rita forced another smile, but her eyes were full of suspicion. And jealousy. When Uncle Dogo heard Belinda was back, he froze for a moment, then his face twisted into anger. What? She is alive? He shouted. How? That girl should not be alive. Nobody ever returns from the forest after going to the river at night. Nobody. Rita stood beside him, equally angry. Daddy, can you imagine? That girl is back again. Now everybody will start looking at her like she's special. Attention will be on her again, Uncle Dogo hissed. I don't like this at all. That girl is a problem. Trouble follows her everywhere. I don't know how she survived. Over the next few days, she secretly sold a few pieces of the gold the witch gave her. She was shocked at how much money she received. The gold was pure and extremely valuable. Belinda bought a big modern house at the edge of the village, a place far away from her uncle's eyes. She also bought several lands. For the first time in her life, Belinda felt free. One afternoon, she invited Kunle to her new home. He entered and stood still, amazed by how beautiful and large it was. Belinda. How did you? He started. She smiled gently. Kunle, you have always been there for me. You searched for me, you warned me, you cared for me. I want to help you start life properly. I want to give you some money. But Kunle shook his head softly. Belinda, before I accept anything from you, I must tell you the truth. She looked at him confused. Truth? What truth? Kunle took a deep breath. I am not just a farmer, I am a prince. My father is king in a faraway village. I came here secretly to find a woman with a pure heart. Someone good, someone humble, someone rare. Someone like you. Belinda's mouth opened in shock. Kunle, you're a prince. Yes, he nodded. And in our palace we have more gold than you can imagine. Your gold cannot impress me. Your heart is what I value. Belinda, marry me. Belinda's eyes filled with tears. She nodded slowly. Yes, I will marry you. Kunle smiled and held her hands. The news spread like wildfire across the entire village. When Rita heard it, she was so angry. What? Belinda is getting married to a prince? Impossible. I refuse. She stormed to her father. Daddy, if Belinda went to the river and came back with good luck, then I will also go. I will get my own pot of gold. I will come back richer than her. Uncle Dogo did not stop her. His jealousy was too strong. Instead, he whispered, Yes. Go. Nobody must know. Go to the river tonight. Bathe there. Maybe your own pot of gold will come. Rita nodded eagerly. I will go tonight. I must become rich too. Uncle Dogo smiled darkly. Good. Very good. That night, Rita walked toward the bush path with shaky legs. The moon was only half bright, and the forest looked like a giant mouth ready to swallow her. She kept whispering to herself, I can do this. I can do this. I just need to bathe and the pot of gold will appear. Belinda is not better than me. But once she stepped into the forest, the air changed. It became colder, heavier. The trees looked taller, darker, almost alive. Strange sounds echoed, crickets, rustling leaves, and something else, something breathing. Rita froze. No, 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 she whispered, her voice trembling. I can't do this. She turned and ran. She ran out of the forest so fast her slippers flew off. She didn't stop until she reached home, panting and shaking like someone chased by a spirit. She burst into the house. Daddy, Daddy, I can't do it. That forest is evil. Something was following me. Uncle Dogo jumped up angrily. Rita, are you mad? How can you come back so soon? You want to fall my hand. Rita cried loudly. Daddy, I was scared. I almost died. Uncle Dogo pointed at her face. Shut up. Do you want gold or not? Do you want to marry a prince or not? Look at Belinda, she has everything now. And what do you have? Nothing. If you are serious, you must be brave. Rita sniffed and wiped her tears. Daddy, it's not easy. That place is terrifying. You can do it, Uncle Dogo growled. Don't fall my hand, don't disgrace me, go back tomorrow night. And this time don't run. His words were sharp and cruel, but Rita listened. Somewhere inside her, jealousy burned stronger than fear. She nodded slowly. Okay, Daddy, I will try again tomorrow. Good, he said coldly. Don't come back without gold. Rita walked to her room, trembling, her heart heavy with fear, but her mind filled with greed. She didn't realize the river only blesses those with pure hearts, and hers was filled with envy. Tomorrow night, the forest would be waiting for her again. The next night, Rita returned to the forest. Her heart still beat fast, but her father's words and her jealousy pushed her forward. She walked deeper this time, forcing herself not to look back. I must get that gold, she whispered. I must get my prince. When she reached the riverbank, the water looked calm and cold under the moonlight. Rita swallowed hard and stepped inside. Just as she bent to scoop water on her body, something touched her leg. She screamed, but everything went black. When Rita opened her eyes, she found herself lying inside a dirty, smoky hut made of sticks and mud. Her heart jumped, and she sat up fast. What? What am I doing here? She shouted. No, no, no. I did not come here for this. I want to leave now. The old woman stepped out of the shadows, looking at her with cold, tired eyes. You came to the forest, and the forest brought you here, the witch said. Rita jumped to her feet. I don't want you. I want the river. I want my prince. I want wealth. Old woman, I have nothing to do with you. The old woman stared without blinking. Rita wrinkled her nose and waved her hand rudely. And you stink. Look at you. You are ugly, dirty, and smelling. I know you haven't bathed for years. The witch's eyes narrowed slowly. Rita marched toward the entrance, but suddenly stopped. Her legs refused to move. She tried again. Nothing. It felt like invisible chains held her in place. What is this? Rita shouted. Why can't I leave? Let me go. The old woman stepped closer, her voice rising like thunder. You are very arrogant, very mannerless. You have no respect, no patience, no calmness. You are nothing like the other girl. Rita's ears sharpened. Which girl? She snapped. Is it Belinda? Did she come here? Did you give her wealth? Tell me. The old woman said nothing. Her silence was louder than words. Rita's eyes widened with jealousy. So it's true, Belinda came here. You gave her something. You helped her. Why not me? Why her? Still, the old woman said nothing. Rita stomped her foot angrily. Answer me. But the witch only turned her back and stirred a boiling pot. Rita felt fear rise in her chest. She suddenly understood something. She was not in control. The forest was, and the forest did not treat everyone the same. The next morning, the old woman sat on her low wooden stool and looked at Rita with tired eyes. I will help you get the pot, she said slowly, but first I must go and see my people. Cook for me before I come back. She picked up her walking stick and stepped out of the hut, disappearing into the forest. The moment she left, Rita rolled her eyes dramatically. Cook for you? She scoffed loudly. This woman is really foolish. Me? Cook? I don't even know how to cook. It's that stupid girl Belinda that does everything in the house. I'm just here to get my own wealth, not to cook for one dirty old woman. Rita paced around the hut, grumbling. Her stomach growled loudly. Oh God, I'm hungry. But I can't eat her food. That woman smells so bad. How can I eat anything she touched? She sat on the floor, holding her stomach, complaining non-stop. Minutes passed. Then her hunger grew stronger. I don't have a choice, she muttered. Let me check what she has. Rita opened the old pot near the fire. There were a few pieces of boiled yam and some watery soup left. She frowned in disgust. Yuck, what is this? Even dogs won't eat this nonsense. But her stomach growled again, louder. She groaned and snatched the pot. She ate like someone who hadn't seen food for days, shoving yam into her mouth, slurping the soup noisily. She grabbed a mango from the corner and devoured it like a mad woman. When she was done, she laughed so loudly. This woman is really foolish. Very dirty and very foolish. Let her come back and show me where the riches are. I must get my pot of gold today. Rita leaned back, satisfied and proud, not knowing she had just failed the first test. A few hours later, the old woman stepped back into the hut. Her eyes scanned the room quietly. Where is the food I asked you to cook? Rita frowned. Cook? For you? I didn't cook anything. The old woman's eyes narrowed. Why? Rita smirked. Because I'm not your child. Don't command me. And honestly, what are you doing in this forest alone? Don't you have family, husband, children? You just stay here smelling like smoke. You look exactly like a witch. The old woman stared at her. Rita didn't stop. Your clothes are dirty, your hair is rough, your hut stinks. How do you expect me to cook for you? Please shift and tell me where the pot of gold is. I came for my blessing, not to serve you. The old woman spoke softly, dangerously. You ate my food. Rita blinked fast. How did you know? That small thing. Please, who cares? I was hungry. But cook for you? Never. You are arrogant, the woman said. Your heart is full of jealousy. Rita rolled her eyes. Whatever. Belinda got her own blessing. I must get mine too. I'm even more beautiful than her. So hurry and take me to the pot. The old woman became more angrier, as if something powerful stood inside her. You are nothing like the other girl. You insulted me the moment you opened your eyes. Rita shrugged. And so? I don't care. Where is my pot of gold? The old woman's voice dropped into a chilling whisper. Your journey will not end the way you expect. Rita swallowed hard, suddenly unsure, but her greed pushed her forward. Just show me my pot. That's all I want. The old woman smiled for the first time, a slow, dangerous smile that did not reach her eyes, and Rita didn't realize she had just sealed her fate. Back in the village, Uncle Dogo was sitting under the old mango tree, drinking palm wine with his friend Baba Kela. The sun was hot, the breeze slow, and the calabash of wine went round and round as both men laughed loudly. Uncle Dogo, with his chest pushed out proudly, shouted, Drink more, my friend. Enjoy yourself. My daughter is now wealthy. Wealth is entering this house very soon. Baba Kela asked, Ain, wealthy how? I have not seen Rita for days now. Where did she disappear to? Uncle Dogo smiled in a foolish, proud way. She traveled. She is now dating a crown prince from a powerful village. Very soon she will be coming home with her husband-to-be. Money is flowing, respect is coming, power is coming. My daughter will return like a queen. Baba Kela's eyes widened in shock and envy. A crown prince? God, oh, your family has luck. Just like Belinda, who is also following a prince now. You people are now enjoying life. Meanwhile, look at me. My useless daughter went and married a palm wine tapper. Imagine, every day she smells of palm wine. She has no shame, no ambition, no future. But look at you, your daughter is becoming royalty. Uncle Dogo laughed so hard. My brother, that is life. Some daughters are born to struggle, some are born for greatness. Rita is born for greatness. She will soon return with riches, and people will beg to enter my compound. Baba Kela shook his head. I envy you. Truly, God has favored you. Uncle Dogo lifted the calabash again. Let us drink to Rita's success, to her prince, to her wedding, to her wealth. They continued drinking, shouting, celebrating a future they believed was guaranteed. The next morning, the old woman looked at Rita with tired eyes and said, You can go now. I have had enough of you. Rita jumped up immediately and snapped, Where is the pot? I'm not leaving here without my wealth. The old woman pointed into the forest and said, Go that way. You will see 2 pots, one big and one small. Choose whichever you like and go home. Rita hissed and did not even say thank you. She marched angrily into the forest, thinking she was smarter than everyone. When she reached the 2 pots, she looked at them and laughed proudly. Me choose only one? Never. I want more wealth than that foolish Belinda. That old woman thinks I am a fool. I will take both pots. My wealth will be double. She carried the big pot under one arm and the small pot under the other and hurried home with excitement burning in her chest. When she reached the compound, she locked herself and her father inside their room so no villager would see their riches. Uncle Dogo was smiling foolishly. My daughter, open them. Let us see our blessings. Rita nodded eagerly and said, Daddy, today we become millionaires. She lifted the first pot high and smashed it on the ground. Instead of gold, a giant snake shot out, hissing loudly. They screamed, but before they could run, she broke the second pot too, thinking maybe the gold was there. But this time a tiger, a lion and more snakes burst out of the pots with furious roars. Rita and her father tried to escape, but the creatures surrounded them and attacked mercilessly. Their screams filled the entire village, and by the time the animals disappeared back into the forest, nothing was left of the greedy father and daughter. When the villagers heard the news, they gathered and whispered among themselves happily, Finally, the evil man and his mannerless daughter are gone for good. Karma has visited them. Even Belinda heard it. She and Kunle sat together shaking their heads sadly. Greed and jealousy have finally dealt with them, Kunle said softly. Belinda sighed. They wanted what didn't belong to them. They refused to change. The forest only returned what their hearts deserved. Dear viewers, what lesson did this story teach you? Share your thoughts in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this storytelling, remember to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another story.